The committee itself deals with the workings of the budget. So the government is, through tax, collects money, and in its most basic sense, what is used to adjudicate where each of the, if we get 100 Rand as a government, we have to decide where 10 Rand goes to, 5 Rand goes to. And all of that is a law that Parliament has to process, pass, and make sure that my committee's basic function is to make sure that, one, is it right that we spend 5 Rands on education or this or that? And two, whether once we've spent that 5 Rands, are we getting the outcomes we want from that? So if we were a household, I would say whoever earns the money comes to propose, and then there's a counter rider that says, are you spending the money the way you wanted to propose it? And they might come up with counter proposals. And so my committee, in some ways, when we look at the budget, we are able to look at it and say, there are following adjustments that we need to make. And we also get, because South Africans are not represented in cabinet, they are represented in parliament. So we get to come to the budget with the eyes of the 61 million South Africans to say, no. No, I mean, most crucially is VIP security. It tells South Africans that politicians are more important than the people. So that, I think, is something we need to adjust for. The second, and perhaps we need to think about this carefully, is there are certain entities that exist that we are funding as a government, but are not giving us bang for buck. For example, I think that higher education learners must be able to get a quality higher education. But when you have NSFAS in between all of that, why are we giving money first to NSFAS, then to students, rather than funding universities directly and then students can benefit from that? Just that whole transaction with NSFAS means that we are putting a middle person and we're spending a lot. The third is we give a lot of bailouts to state-owned enterprises, right? Transnet, SCOM, and one or two others. The truth is we're not getting a return on investment. So when you look at it over the last, I would say, 5 years, the net return on investment in as far as state-owned enterprises averages in the negative 5%. So in other words, for every Rand we pour into that, we're making losses accordingly. The state isn't recouping that money. Parliament, unlike under apartheid, is the apex of accountability. The president is elected here. The chief justice is recommended from here. Accountability is from here. And I don't know if we've done enough to strengthen that. I think we've done a poor job of it. We should have been better at that. But at the same time as that, it's interesting coming back sometimes. You feel like, a school child back at school again. It's interesting to see some of the old colleagues